flip my switch, holding the start button. I don't care what anybody says, switch panels and push to start buttons are really freaking cool. What is going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If you guys didn't check out my last video, we installed a switch panel and a start button in the Civic. I didn't wire up the start button just yet because that's what today is for. Like, that thing is so freaking cool though. Comment below of what you guys would put on my 3 switches because I don't have a clue what I'm gonna put in them yet. So if you didn't watch my last video and you refused to and you click this one, pretty much what happened was I couldn't get the Civic to crank. I found out I could still start the car if I jumped the wires, so I knew something was going on, so I bought a start button, and I wanted the switches because switches are freaking cool, to make the car start as a workaround. Ended up fixing the problem, but I still had the switch panel, so why not still install it? I will put the link in my description of where I got this from, and I also put the wiring diagram right here, so if you guys want to do this yourself, you can follow the wiring diagram. It's actually pretty simple, but I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do it in my car, of how to get the start button to actually work, and how to wire it up correctly, because right now I don't really have it like super duper nice, but I bought a bunch of stuff to make it nice. So first things first is I'm going to take it all out of the car and take all my interior out to get it back out, because I have a couple of things I want to do to make it a little bit cleaner on the inside. So what I think I'm going to do is remove like all of these tabs on here. Removing all of these tabs here with the Dremel because it's ugly and I'm not using that anymore. So we're going to start by doing that. Safety first on this one because we're using a Dremel. I don't know why I thought this was going to look a bit cleaner than it did. Now there's a bunch of holes in it. But we got what we wanted to do. I pretty much just wanted to get rid of all the parts of the hinge because I didn't like how that looked. And now there's a bunch of holes in it. So we might just order a new one of these eventually. But I think the next step we should do here is clean this thing, because when I took the thumbnail last time, I noticed how gross it looked. So I'm going to give this thing a quick scrub. Now the way I have this wired up now is definitely not the most professional. And it might be a little bit hazardous because of how I have the wires set up. And I'll show you guys here in a second. That don't look the best. So for $4 or $5, I went out to Harbor Freight and bought a terminal connector set, and another $4, and I actually bought a crimper and a wire stripper so I can actually make this clean. Now these do have posts that fit on these absolutely perfectly, and it'll look better, they'll fit better, and it's not as dangerous. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly do all of these wires so they're better. These might be the worst wire strippers I've ever used in my life, to be completely honest. So everything is wired up now and ready to go, but my last video I really didn't explain how I wired it. So again, here's the wiring diagram to show you guys what to do. Follow it to the T and it will lead you to good places. But I'm going to put this on my hood and try to walk you guys through it to make it make more sense if you don't understand the wiring diagram. Now I know this looks like a mess and it's very confusing. So here's the switch like this, right? The bottom most connector right here is gonna be a ground. The one right above that is your constant power. So this one is gonna go straight into your battery. This one is what turns on when you actually turn the battery on, which goes into the 3 for the button, and it also goes into the bottom post for the LED on the start button. The 4 on here goes into your relay, red wire. This one gets grounded. It's also on the 4 side for the LED to work. On the relay side of things, this white wire stays. As I said, this goes into the switch, and the blue wire is going to go to your starter. Black one gets grounded. I hope I explained that better than last time. It's actually pretty easy once you get it done the first time. So at this point, we can throw her back in the car and just run lines. My constant power, I'm running on like a 15-foot yellow wire right now because I'm going to just measure it and see how much I actually need to get it to the battery. I shouldn't need that much, so I can trim it up. Again, with the ground wires and stuff like that, I have extra wire if I need it to ground it wherever. I'm planning on trying to ground it behind or underneath the radio where that cubby is. Somewhere in there, there's a bunch of cables in there, so I can put another end in there just so it's easy to ground. And that's pretty much it. Then you have to wire the blue wire to the post of your starter. So pretty much my starter, if you're doing this on a Honda or any other car, I don't know. But if you're doing this on a Honda, there's one with a bolt as your constant power. Your signal is a little plug, and you can just take this off, put a plug on there, stick it in there, and this will be your new starter relay. And on this Harbor Freight kit, this blue one, the little blue plug actually fits perfectly into the starter. So that will be the one we're using. So now the next thing we're going to do is put this in the car and start routing all the wires, finding our grounds and where we're going to put all of our power lines. And since this is on a switch, I don't think it's going to run our battery if we do it directly into the battery, so I might just do that. Now I am having a bit of trouble finding a good grounding spot, so I just kind of shoved it between the pinch welds, and it seems pretty secure in there. But I'll touch the battery with the cable. I'm going to touch the battery with the wires to show you that it does work like this. Bam! It should be on. Now I am a little bit nervous about like big vibrations, and I was gonna put it into one of the 12mm bolts in there, but the only posts I have aren't big enough to hold that screw. So hopefully this holds with all the vibration and everything. If it doesn't, I will definitely find a better workaround because there should be another place to put it. And I think the best place to actually run my power and my starter cable is gonna be through the firewall of where the ECU actually comes through. So I'm gonna try doing it like that and just pushing it through and grabbing it, because that should be the most concealed, and I think it'll be a decent spot. So the previous owner did have subs in the car, so I'm not sure if this hole is stock or not, but right below the battery, I could run all my wires through that hole right there. Ran the power to the battery, ran the blue plug to the starter. Now we can see if everything works properly. So flip this up, everything should light up, and then the starter should go. So in theory, the way I have to do this is just put my key on accessory mode, flip my switch, holding the start button, and she starts right up, boys. Flip that down, and we freaking nailed it. This is one of those things that this was really easy to set up if you just followed the diagram. And again, so I put the diagram up a few times. The link for this product is in my bio, so click it, buy it. It's really simple to set up. So with this setup, I'm gonna say it's not any more dangerous than having a regular key, because you still need the key to start it. I could completely rewire this to make it so I flip my accessory one and my ACC light comes on and I can start the car from all the switch panel. But I wanna have a sense of security still, so that's why I don't have it set up like that. But this is a very easy mod to do. I think it looks really cool, and I'm gonna put this all together, put some of my interior back, clean up a little bit here because it's a mess, do a little edit for you guys, and we'll recap. Now it's time for the task of cleaning up my entire interior because I've neglected the car. So I'm gonna put all my interior back up. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of an edit because edits are freaking cool and I'm trying to work on them. So I'll catch you guys in a little bit while I'm cleaning all this stuff up. You know, this video might get a little bit more interesting now because ever since I've had this car, I've had the ECU just on the ground, and that's not a good spot for it. And I did find water on my floor one time, so that's obviously not good for it. So I'm gonna try to relocate this into the glove box. So this should be fun. That ECU has literally been on the ground for like a year, so I'm very happy that it's actually somewhere secure now and off the floor, so that makes me feel a lot better. ECU relocated, start button installed, interior put back together, car kind of clean. Let's just check this out, guys. Well guys, let me know what you guys think about this switch panel mod. I personally think it is the coolest thing ever. I think it's very race car looking. I just think it's a really cool mod. But again, everything is, you know, subject to opinion. So I probably will keep it like this because, you know, it makes me feel kind of cool. So again, I have it wired, so I still have to flip my key in the ignition switch and then use the starter for safety reasons because I don't want to get the car stolen. But I think this mod looks so cool. And as I said before, I still have 3 switches on here that I don't have a clue or a reason for them. So if you guys have any ideas, please put that in the comments below, because I think it'd be really cool to have all these switches actually hooked up and doing something opposed to just sitting there not doing anything. Well, I hope you guys can use this video as a reference, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always guys, please do me a few things. Comment, like, subscribe, keep doing the fun stuff, keep doing you, stay motivated. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and peace.